that there are some things that literally are fragile if you take, well, this is not probably that fragile, but if I drop this, my coffee cup on the ground, it'll probably break, right? Because it's fragile. Certainly a wine glass, fragile. Then there are things that are not fragile, like let's use this, my rubber band here. If I drop this on the ground, which I'm going to do right now.
He is demonstrating to those just listening to this
Oh,
and
sorry.
not watching it on YouTube.
That's right. Sorry. I dropped a rubber band on the ground, actually a hair twisty thing on the ground, and it's just fine. So you could say that that's resilient, but it hasn't gotten any better, but it hasn't gotten any worse. It's just the same old hair scrunchie that it began as. But then there are some things and systems that are anti-fragile, and that is that they need a bit of stress to actually engage and get stronger. And one of those systems is the immune system. It needs to encounter some germs to build up some antibodies, something that we're thinking about all the time now, so that it can fight off whatever is coming at them. And another system that needs a little bit of stress is bones, which mine are skinny and terrible as can be. But if I did my weight strengthening, pushed against them, they would get stronger. And the most, I guess, the system that needs this kind of stress and exposure to a little bit of, concern, a little bit of difficulty the most is kids. Because kids come into the world like sort of unbaked. I was just talking to a woman named Barbara Sarnecka. She's a professor at the University of California, Irvine. And she said that, if you watch like a gazelle comes into the world, at about 4 hours after it's born, it can do everything it needs to do as a grown-up gazelle, right? It can run, it can avoid hyenas, it can eat, it can speak gazelle, whatever it is, it's got it all because it doesn't need to know much to survive. So it can all come pre-programmed in the brain. There's like a little chip in there and everything it needs to know is there. But us, we come out in the world and, oh my God, someplace we got to learn Chinese. Someplace we have to learn what biff means. Someplace we have to learn to climb. We have to learn how to live in, freezing conditions or boiling conditions in the forest or in a skyscraper. We have to learn how to get along with so many different kinds of people. And so we are wired to take information in, and we are wired to be curious, and we are wired to do things and learn a lot of times from our mistakes. That didn't work. I blew it there. That made somebody mad. That meant that I couldn't get what I wanted. I fell. And so those are the building blocks of childhood, are sometimes great things, but sometimes betrayal, confusion, despair, disappointment, frustration. And if we have taken all of these out of kids' lives, out of an abundance of concern that it's too much for them to handle, that normally somewhere in this house, I have my son's trophy that I could show you wherever it is for 8th place out of 9 teams at a bowling league, teen bowling league. I think by the time you're a teen and you're winning 8th place, you know that you don't deserve a trophy, but somehow the team gave him a trophy anyway. So if we keep saying that nothing should hurt them, distress them, confuse them, upset them, then we are making them fragile, because it's like Jenga. We've taken out all sorts of building blocks that they need to become this whole successful anti-fragile person. And instead we're leaving them with this rickety structure of like, don't hurt me, and I can't handle that, and where's the teacher, and I'm going to complain. That is, it does them a disservice, even though I don't blame parents, because I feel like all our culture keeps telling us, watch out, your kid is fragile, don't let them get hurt, from physical to mental. So we've been programmed to believe that we should be raising our kids in a way that I actually think is detrimental.